Hey everybody! What's up? We're back! Woohoo! How is everybody doing? I am a little hyper today. Pardon me. Someone's texting me as I'm trying to do a show. What the hell? Hi! Welcome back! Oh my goodness. I was very excited to do the show today. I've been a little bit of a workhorse today, but it's okay. All right, I'm getting myself together. What's going on? How is everybody? Do you all have a good holiday? I hope so. Whatever holiday that you celebrate. If there's somebody that's joining us that celebrates something besides Christmas, please let me know, because I haven't met anybody here yet that doesn't celebrate Christmas, which is very strange for me. But anyways, let's see who's here. Hello, Sam K. Happy New Year. Thank you. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Happy New Year. Falco. Happy New Year. Manny. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year. I'm Roy Cousins. Thank you. Hi. Happy New Year. Clay Homewood. Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm doing good. I had a nice restful couple weeks. Sort of. Let's see. How's it been? Well, I had to finish up. I got a little bit lazy when I was doing the series. I was getting it set up, so I had to finish up some stuff at the last minute while I was off. And then I caught a cold, so I wasn't really able to relax that much. But I did get some R&R, and it was a nice break. It's a nice break from stuff to just kind of go at a pace, my own pace and stuff. Work was kind of slow. Get to work from home a lot of the time that I was off, so that made it a lot easier as well. But sorry, Sam K. Welcome back, Sam K. Thank you so much. Everything's good. Everything's good. I'm well rested, and I worked from home today, and it was very light. So I did a lot of work on the side in between my little mini projects that I had to do today. And then I got to close out a little bit early, and so I went right back into my projects and got some things done. And then set myself up for you guys. So it's New Year's, and typically I do nothing on New Year's and fall asleep early because I'm an old fart. But since this year, New Year's fell on a Tuesday, and we had nothing going on, as usual, as far as like actually enjoying life. No, that's not true. We enjoy life. I'm just being silly. But anyway, we didn't have anything going on to celebrate New Year's Eve specifically. Nobody wanted to go out or anything. So I definitely wanted to do a live show, catch up with y'all, see what's going on. But it's going to be a little bit different one. Just saying. Because I got a really lovely Christmas gift. It's so cool. So we're going to have a little bit of a little mini party with y'all. So take this time to go and grab yourself a drink. Doesn't have to be alcoholic. Just grab yourself something. Help celebrate a little bit with us and have some fun. Even the bottle's nice. I didn't even crack it open yet. I saved it for tonight. I may have to use my tea. I don't have any scissors on me, and they're all downstairs. So, damn, it's not hard to get this off in America. I'm just saying. Sexual chocolate. Let me know if you guys know what that's from. Show my age, but I don't mind. It's a celebratory day. Just a little bit to start. I'll add to it as the night goes on, maybe. We'll see how it goes. I have my iced tea, because that's how I drink my wild turkey. But we only had a few of the regular tea bags left, and I felt bad taking them all to make iced tea. So I made it with my green tea. I have never had wild turkey with green tea before, so I don't know how this is going to taste, but we're going to try it. Oh, a little spinach. Trying to protect the desk. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. I wish I could share it with you guys. I would make one for everybody, but I don't know if they've mastered that part of technology yet. But man, this tastes good. God, it's been so long since I've had wild turkey. Mm. Anyway, if you guys are drinking, let me know what you're drinking in the chat. And oh, it's so good. So fucking good. If you guys haven't had wild turkey, you should try it. Granted, it's strong and it's very expensive here because it's an import. So, bear that in mind, but you can get in Tesco. This is a rare breed, actually. So this is a little bit stronger than the regular one that I usually get. The one I usually get is 101 proof. This is 117. It's from Kentucky. Going to Kentucky. We're going to the fair to see the senorita with flowers in her hair. I'm not going to drop the bottle. Don't worry. I am very careful when it comes to my turkey, especially considering how lovely this bottle is and how long it's been since I've had it. Oh, yeah. Chris, you know what I'm talking about. I might get a little drunk. I'm going to try my hardest. See, I'm really good. I have pretty good behavior, particularly in the live streams when it comes to my mouth. Normally, I have a very bad potty mouth, but I try really hard to be on my best behavior for, copyright purposes, and I don't want the channel to get struck down or anything like that, right? So I don't monetize the live streams anyway, but just so I don't want to bring anything negative to the channel. So I try really hard to control myself. But obviously my inhibitions might be lowered a little bit tonight. So I apologize in advance if I offend anybody or if it's too much. You might get to see a little bit more of the behind the scenes Mandy. I don't want to say the real Mandy, because it's not like I'm not real, but I do curb my behavior just a little bit for posterity, right? It's already started. I've had 2 sips. It's so good. Whew. It's New Year's Eve, y'all. It's Hipsy Street. Oh, you haven't seen the bloopers yet? Yeah, not a lot of people have, to be honest. There's not a lot of people watching the bloopers, but that's okay. I put it out there because I know you guys, the core group, you guys like them a lot. And I had a lot of them doing the series. And as I was like the 3rd or 4th episode in, I was like, I'm effing up a lot. I did a lot of recording, like I did all of them over like a couple days. So I wasn't rushed or anything, but I was just like, my mind was scrambled because I had so much on it, right? And I was trying to get it all done and trying to make it as quality as possible for y'all. Hi, Freddie Mac. Thank you for joining. Happy New Year. Enjoy my tipple. I shall. Captain Morgan Spiced Gold. I'm not a huge fan of spiced rum. I like white rum. And in fact, since I've been here, my go-to in the pubs is Bacardi, Malibu if they have it. But a lot of places don't have it. Bacardi, they usually have Bacardi. So, and Diet Coke. Because that's like a kind of it seems like it's kind of a staple in the pubs, at least in my area. Nobody has wild turkey. And if they do, they're not serving it with iced tea. So it's best that I just kind of make sure that I have that when I'm home. But my go-to is white rum and Diet Coke, and when I'm in the pubs. I went to Cincinnati. The airport is actually in Kentucky. Is it? Cincinnati is at the bottom of Ohio, so that makes sense. I've never been to Cincinnati, though, to be honest. I've been to wherever Kings Island is. It's the only time I was in Ohio. Was to go to the theme park. This one I was in college and we drove there. I can't remember what town it was in. I just remember it being really, really hot. And I was a college kid. I didn't have a lot of money on me. And so I was trying to use it sparingly throughout the day. I spent the majority of it to get in. And I just remember one time we were online for a ride. And I was like, if I don't have something to eat soon, I might pass out. It's really hot. Yeah, Kings Island. Oh, that was fun. Please don't get too tipsy. I don't want to see on the news a drunken streamer dancing down the street with a traffic cone on her head. I don't really. No, I do dance in the street. I dance in the street sober, though, to be fair. In all fairness, I tend to be a little bit of a klepto when I'm drunk, more so. I steal things. I don't know why. It's not, but it's fun stuff. It's not like I don't steal like food or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I'll steal like traffic cone for no reason, just because. Yeah, hit the likes for me, guys. That helps me out a lot. I appreciate it if you don't mind. You went to Kings Island and I thought it was tacky. It probably is tacky. It's a Six Flags chain. So there's like 10 of them or something in the US. I don't know if there's any outside of the US though. But Yeah, they're pretty tacky. Most American things are tacky because there's not really whole lot of authenticity into American culture, is there? It's hard to find. You have to sift through all the tack. Cincinnati Airport is in Covington, which is just over the border into Kentucky. That makes sense, actually, because Cincinnati is a big city, so that's probably where the only space they had to fly in there. That makes sense. So, I want to start off. I have I have like a loose plan. We don't have to hit any of these things. We don't even have to get to any of them. Today's going to be kind of a free for all. We're just going to sit, chat, have old fashioned, like no plan kind of stream tonight. We're going to go as long as we are up for it, or as long as I can hold out, I guess. But I do want to start off with one thing before I get too toasted. I want to talk about our donations with the Royal British Legion. So for those of you who don't know or might be new, or you're watching this for the first time on a replay, we have a fundraising partnership with the Royal British Legion. And a portion of our proceeds every month go to support the veterans of the British Armed Forces and their families. So I have a little something written up, if you don't mind me reading. And I might squint because I don't have my glasses on. Okay. As we wrap up 2024, I want to take a moment to share something special with y'all. Our ongoing commitment to supporting the Royal British Legion through donations from the revenue of our channel. First off, we know that the last couple months have been a bit tough financially, not for you guys and as well as the channel. We haven't raised as much money in the last couple months of the year as we were earlier over the summer. So the donations didn't quite hit the goal. I was trying to get to £1,000 for the month. We didn't get there. But despite all the challenges, we have been able to raise a total of £525 for the Royal British Legion this year. I am very, very proud of that. It's not as much as I had wanted, but I am happy to help, and I'm glad that we got to that point. And none of that would have been possible without all of you guys and all the shares and all the likes and everything. So I just want to say a huge, huge thank you for your continued support and engagement with the channel, because it means a lot to me. I wanted to also just explain real quick how the donations work, because I never really went into it in a detailed way. So it's just going to take a second. We take a percentage of the revenue generated from the channel before any funds are reinvested in the channel, before any content, before any equipment is bought, any channel development, any promotion, anything else that we're doing, any contest or anything. It comes right off the top from the beginning. And there's very, very, very little that I might put in my pocket. This is all really for raising money for charity. And I set that goal when I found out that we were approved for the partnership, because I wanted to make sure that we raised as much money as possible, so that every penny that we could possibly give to this cause was given. And the revenue is generated through views, through likes, through shares, through comments. And also whenever you give a thanks, you buy me a coffee or any of that stuff, any of the super chats or anything, all of that is all included in the revenue. So it's all pulled together at the end of the month, and then we take it off the top. The donation is the first thing that we do. And it's an amazing charity, and it's very, very close to my heart, because my dad was a veteran of the US Army, and it does such great work. And I had to support it. And I'm really proud of the partnership. I'm really proud of the funds we were able to raise. So anyone who participates, no matter how you're participating, thank you. Because your support means more than I can ever express to you. And every single click and every single interaction helps the channel, which then in turn helps us raise even more money for them. I'm so proud to be able to support the Royal British Legion, and I can't wait to see what 2025 funds are going to be. Hopefully they'll be double. I'm going to say we're going to try to hit the £1,000 mark next year. That's my goal, one of my goals for 2025. And the more we grow the channel, the more money we raise for this amazing cause. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I appreciate your help, and please keep supporting the channel to help make this positive impact together. Thank you. Okay. I have to admit, I get a little gutted sometimes for a couple of the months when they're a little low, and I was like, oh. And I didn't have a whole lot of like my own discretionary money to throw into it. Or I tried to top it off a bit, but it's just isn't always possible, right? So I am gutted that we didn't hit that £1,000 threshold, but hopefully next year. You guys are great. Thank you for hitting the like button and all of your interaction. I used to have what Roy Cousin says, I used to have wild turkey at Christmas. It was a lot more reasonable to buy in the UK than it is now. Yeah, it's really expensive. I was really unhappy when I saw how I was super excited when I saw it because I hadn't seen it here and I really wanted it. And then when I saw how much it was, I was like, I don't know, it's kind of expensive. But obviously this one was a gift, so I'm going to savor it. I say I'm going to savor it, but it's so good. It's so good. It's been around forever too. I love it. If there's ever something I would endorse, I would never really do an endorsement or anything like that, but I would definitely endorse Wild Turkey. Like I do commercials for Wild Turkey. I don't even know if they'd have to pay me. Oh, I probably shouldn't put that out there. Anyway. Yes, Falco, thank you. Yes, they are. And to be fair, the Royal British Legion is always very grateful. And they sent us a lovely note, which I posted on the community channel today about, all the contributions and stuff. It's really sweet. And I do appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, Sam K. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you. Thank you so much. And just also, I mean, I'm just letting you guys know that that's part of it. But if you can't afford to do it, I understand. It's totally fine. Like there's no obligation to send any money. But honestly, hitting the likes and all the views, all that adds up. Watch the ads if you can. I know they're kind of annoying sometimes, but the ad revenue is added to it, is a big portion of the stuff that, the money that we raise. So if you guys don't mind, taking one for the team, that all helps. All that stuff helps. Sharing, all that stuff helps. So you guys interact all the time. So I know that you guys are helping out. I'm not trying to get on anyone for not sending money. It's not about that. It's about, just interacting. The more we interact, the more the channel grows and the more money we can raise. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate your good thoughts as well. So what do y'all want to do? Like I said, I have a couple things. I could prompt something. We could talk about New Year's resolutions. I have some lingering questions about the UK. I have a couple suggestions for reacts. I have my top 5 moments of 2024. And I had another. Oh, it's my New Year's resolution. That was my other list. And then we're going to talk about, some stuff we're going to do in 2025. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We get there. Oh, excuse me. I'm burping already. Woo! It's a little hot in here already, actually. Usually it's freezing cold in here and I'm sniffling like crazy. Because I have ghosts. And if you don't know that joke, then you have to go and watch the bloopers. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Manny, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Manny. You're fantastic, even though you're an Arsenal fan. I'll be drunk by 2025. I don't know. Should we play a drinking game? Let's play a drinking game. Ooh, how about this? You guys throw like UK or England, like British culture trivia questions in the chat, and I'll see if I can answer them. If I get it right, I'm good. If I get it wrong, I have to drink. What do you guys think? I literally just thought of that on the spot. So if you have an enhancement to make it better, go for it and let me know. I don't know what's spooky, Chris, but... Oh, I know what you're talking about. Never mind. I got it. It took me a second. Oh! My Royal British Legion card fell. I'm in the process of decorating. I have I think I've shown you guys this before, but I'm going to show you anyway. My wooden hand-carved scorpion from when we went to the Grand Canyon, hand-carved by a local Native American tribe. And I could tell they're hand-carved because each one, there's like 10 of them for sale, and each one was different. And I'm obsessed with scorpions. I love scorpions. And so I had to get it because I thought it was really cool. And I was really worried that it was going to break in our travels, but it didn't. And then I have a pin for breast cancer awareness because I have a survivor in my family. And then you guys know I have let me get my hats to show you a close-up of my hats. Oh, no. So this one you guys have seen. This is my dad's veteran's hat. He had like 5 or 6 of these hats, and he wore one every single day. It wasn't the same exact hat. He had like 5 or 6 Vietnam veteran hats. I have a pin, my poppy pin. And I have my dad is a Vietnam veteran pin that I used to wear. I used to have on my purse and my jacket all the time. That's one of my hats. Then I have my fire department for New York hat that I got from the 9/11 memorial when we went there in New York. Not as broken in, obviously, but still all right. People tell me that I look good in hats, but I don't know that I look great in hats. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never really I always thought I looked kind of frumpy. So that's that part, and then I have a shelf coming to go over my radiator that I could put my dad's flag on and some other things up on that side. And that'll be maybe some pictures or something. And that'll be my office completed. Finally. So, did you guys decide? You didn't hear what I said. Falco. So, what's the game, Falco? If I don't say it properly, I have to drink? Worcestershire. Boom! What? That was right? I'm pretty sure that was right. I'm getting there. All right, Manny has the first question. What song is sung by people moments after midnight on New Year's Eve when it's the 1st of January? What is that? Old Lang Syne? Old Lang Syne, right? I think that's what it's called. I don't really know it. I don't know the words or anything, but that's the one. I know. It's a far cry from last year when we were in the flat and I was trying to say it took me like 10 minutes. Oh, I got it right. Boom. What? Another YouTuber takes random photographs on places in America with tiny clues in the photographs, and viewers have to guess where it was taken. I was kind of doing something like that like when I was out and about in England, where I would do like guess where I am, and I would just take a picture of some brand new place that I'd never been before. I hadn't done that in a while. Do you guys like that? Do you want me to bring that back? Because that might be kind of fun. Just like a kind of fun interactive thing for people to do. That was a lot more engagement on the community polls and stuff that I put in the questions that I put out than I thought. I've kind of put it out mainly for you guys, to be honest. For like the live stream fans to keep the interaction going throughout the week. But there's a lot of people in the community that participate in them. So maybe the photo thing might be a good thing to bring back. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I was gonna wait till the end of the stream, but I actually have a thing though. You guys tell me like what you want to see for 2025 or what you don't want. Definitely don't want to ever see me do again for 2025. So let me know if you have suggestions or anything like that. Let me know. I did like doing that because I found it kind of fun and cheeky, and I always made sure to respond to those comments as well. So I'm awesome. I can say Worcestershire. I couldn't even say that in America. You guys are rubbing off on me. Keep taking the photos, and then we can go over it every stream, right? I like that. I started doing that, and then I stopped for some reason. Probably because I was like not going out and doing as much stuff. That's probably when I was not working and I needed to save funds and stuff. But there's still tons of stuff like locally that I could take pictures of to find out where I am. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a note of that. I have to make a note of it because if I don't, I will definitely forget because I'm that old. I got my 2025 planner, my trusty number 2 pencil. And I have to actually write it. I've been taking tons and tons of notes on my phone because I try to be as modern as I can. I try to be up with the times a little bit, but it's really good for me to get like my ideas out, but I never remember them. But when I actually write it out, I remember it. So that's why I've got the big planner so that I can actually write out all my ideas and my thoughts and have it in front of me. And then I seem to remember it. So when I start talking about it, I don't have to like stop and look at my phone or try to figure out where I am in my thoughts. I'm trying to do a better job of just being as organized as possible when I do my videos and live streams because I just find that I'm kind of scattered and it causes me chaos because the editing process, I'm not really good at it. And the editing process, it makes it so much harder for me. So if I have my thoughts kind of organized and the editing process goes a lot faster and I don't get stressed out and I don't feel like I'm behind all the time. So that's one of my goals for 2025 as well. All right, Chris has got another one. Ready? Are you ready? Leicestershire. Boom! I am on fire tonight. Maybe I should do all my live streams while I'm drinking. Let's get drunk Tuesdays. We should call the show. That's not gonna work because we work on Wednesdays, but all right, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. A little bit behind the scenes story of about Tuesday nights and why they're so special. Don't take this any way but how I used to be before I was married. For some reason, Tuesday nights always seem to be my night of going out and picking up guys. I don't know why, but it always seemed to happen on Tuesdays when I was single. It's probably too much information, but that's me. So I was like, Tuesday nights are always my night to, once I got married, Tuesday nights were always my night to like do my own thing. So definitely one doesn't correlate with the other, but Tuesday night specials. That's what I used to call it and what my friends used to call it. My Tuesday night specials. Moving along. All right. Oh, this one's easy. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm the lily, I'm the lie, I'm the lily, I'm the lie. Don't get me started. It's right, Falco, with the boom. All right. With Cockney rhyming slang, what does dog and bone mean? Oh, that means phone. Am I becoming British, guys? Chris, I'm sure that's not true. Yeah, well, I guess in a way I'm trying to pick you guys up because, but pick you up to be part of the community and the channel because I'm a married woman. But I do remember what it was like to be single, and it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. Being married is fun, but being single was fun. But you know what? It was fun for me because I always had I could always tell within the first 15 seconds of talking to someone if I was going to date them seriously or not. And so once you get over that hump, oh, does he like me, or is this going to be when you're talking to somebody, then I don't care, right? Then I can I just throw caution to the wind and I just have fun, and whatever happens, happens. So single life was great for me. But also it got sandwiched in between two very serious relationships. So I came out of a very serious relationship where we were very committed. And then I had my single life, and then I got into my relationship that I'm in now. So maybe that's why I really enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed my freedom. I was in a serious relationship young. So I'm really being open with you guys tonight. I'm gonna lose everybody. Everyone's gonna be like, why does she tell us all this stupid shit? Okay. Oh, Manny, you are not right. You know you're gonna definitely do that. I know you're gonna do that. I've gotten every question right, by the way. I'm just letting y'all know. Mandy Poppins. Okay. Chris has got another one. Let's see. Okay, another. What's plates of meat? Oh, I don't know if I know this one. Plates of meat. I'm going through every word I know that would rhyme. Street? That's going to be my guess. Street. It's probably not right, though. Tell me if it's right or not while I refresh my drink. By the way, no one has told me what this is from yet either. Do y'all just not know? Is that too American for you guys? There are very rude UK town names too. Sam, that just gave me a video idea. It's feet. Damn it! I feel like I should have 2 for that. Feet is obvious. Damn. All right. How about mince pies? What about mince pies? Are you trying to... that's not Cockney. You're confusing me. I have too much alcohol in me to figure it out. I mean, do I like mince pies? I hate mince pies. Didn't I have them on here for Christmas? Is that what you're doing? You're making fun of me. It's taking me a second. Apples and pears. I think it's either... I have 2 in my head of what apples and pears would be. So I have to decide which one I want to go with. I'm going to say stairs. Is that right? I'm right. It's stairs. Oh! Cockney rhyming saying mince pies is eyes. Oh, well, that's a little confusing, but it's one of those Britishisms that's like, it means 20 different things, which of course I'm not going to know. God damn, that's good. All right. Stairs, I got stairs. I'm good there. TJ! Hello! Happy New Year! Thank you for joining us. TJ, I have a question for you. Did you hit 1,000 subscribers? Or is that just like a setting it up for when you do? Because I saw your post and then I said congratulations and wrote a thing on it. And then I clicked on something and it took me back to my homepage and I saw I clicked on your thing, your former quiz, which I missed, which I'm gutted about. And I clicked on it, I think, to see something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I clicked on your channel, but it didn't. It was like under 1,000 subscribers, so I didn't know if you were setting it up ahead of time. But if y'all are subscribed to TJ's channel, go check it out. Get her up to 1,000 subscribers. Setting it up for hopefully. Okay, let's get TJ's channel up to 1,000 subscribers, guys. She supports us. Let's support her. She does lots of really interesting videos about local things that are like historic and stuff. It's really cool. Plus, she does this quiz which I never get to participate in because I keep forgetting. And this last one you had, I had it notified and everything. I knew it was coming, and I was sick. So I fell asleep because I took medicine beforehand. When I laid in bed and I was like, I'm going to do TJ's quiz, and I fell asleep in the middle of it. I was so mad. Anyways. Oh, Chris, you do TJ's? I was so mad. The last Saturday of every month. All right, cool. And then you'll do a special one if you hit 1,000, when you hit 1,000 subscribers, because we're gonna make sure you do. Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna blow it. I know going into it that I'm gonna blow it. It's not gonna be good. I'm not gonna know any answers. We watched something over the break that was like it wasn't a year in review, but it was like it was kind of a year in review, but it was one of those like comedy year in review things where they asked like celebrities the questions, and I was like, I don't know any of this. I don't know what's going on with me, but I don't know anything that's happening in Britain right now. TJ, just to catch you up, we are doing a little bit of a drinking game since I'm drinking my wild turkey that I got for Christmas. You guys are asking me questions about like British culture and stuff, and if I don't get it right, I have to drink. By all means, let the dog out. Who let the dogs out? TJ did. TJ did. Yes, I know, Sam. Water with some aspirin. I actually had 2 glasses of water before I came onto the stream. With my lovely dinner. I have a question for you guys. So I've heard this on a few, because I follow a few British YouTubers, and they were talking about how they weren't doing that much for New Year's this year because of economic reasons and things like that. But they kept mentioning roast dinners. Is that like a thing? Do you have roast dinners on New Year's as well as Christmas? Or do you just have like leftovers? Or because in America, even if you're staying home, you would just have like hors d'oeuvres and snacks. You wouldn't have like a big dinner or anything. Because you'd probably still be drinking if you were home. Or smoking or whatever. So I was just curious because I heard a couple different people mention it. I didn't know that was a thing. I've been here for New Year's one, besides last year, obviously. And I think I went to bed early last year. But I think I was here one other New Year. And I just remember we were at a friend's house and we were partying. And I don't remember too much, to be honest, because we were partying. But I do remember going outside to see, because there was fireworks going off, and then we saw a bunch of Chinese lanterns being released into the air. I'd never seen anything like that before. So that was cool. That was like my first New Year's in England, and that was fun. That was kind of memorable. I haven't seen it. I don't remember seeing it last year, but I was asleep. So I do remember hearing the fireworks last year because it scared me out of my sleep. Roast dinner anytime. That's why there's Toby's Carvery. Fair. That's where we went for Thanksgiving roast dinner. Because I wasn't cooking. Oh. Do you guys want to do any New Year's resolutions? Or do you want to hear my lingering questions? How about let me give you one of my lingering questions about Britain. So y'all have a national religion, Church of England Protestant, and there's lots of churches. and abbeys and things like that. But do you all actually go to church on Sunday? Because I have a church right down the street from my house. And I swear to God, nobody's ever there. I mean, Sunday mornings, I'll go for a walk. We have things, we do things. We go out, whatever. Never hear the church bells ringing, nothing. Do people actually go to church on Sunday? Or is that just like, it's more of a non-religious, secular kind of vibe among like common folk, like everyday people? I don't know. I mean, I've seen like images of the royals going to church and shit like that, but it's like, do everyday people go to church here or not? Church is huge in America. Huge, obviously, because I'm sure you could tell, because the Christians, there are some fanatic Christians, right? They're actually a minority, but they're extremely vocal. But going to church on Sunday is huge. And we're a secular country, technically. Y'all aren't a secular country, and there's churches everywhere. There's probably more churches here than there are in America, and I never see anyone going in them. So I'm genuinely asking because, like I said, there's a church down the street, and I genuinely never seen anyone go in or out of it. I saw one person changing like the announcements, so I assume it's a functioning church, but I honestly never heard the bells or anything like that. You have fireworks going off already? I don't have any fireworks going off. Chris said most people only go to church for weddings or funerals. That's sad. Hi, Mick McArthur joins us. Thank you. So in Scotland, New Year's Eve is called Hogmanay. Is it that? Did I say that right? Hogmanay. And we have steak pie after the bells ring in the new year. It's not the worst way to do it. There's no wild turkey involved, but I might be able to get behind it. I actually don't like steak, though. You got me on 2 times the speed. You probably don't need to do that. I talk pretty fast to begin with. "50 years ago, going to church was a thing, but not really anymore." I just, I find it so weird. That's one of the biggest things, that is, I think, confusing between America and England if you do a comparison. Do you have a set religion? So you'd think, there'd be a lot more religious people here, but there aren't. And there's no set religion in America, technically. And there are people that are incredibly devoted and incredibly fanatic about their religion. And there's religious wars. Every year, people talk about a war on Christmas as if Christmas is going to go away. But because you have to say happy holidays to be inclusive in America, which makes sense because there is no national religion. So, and it's technically a religious holiday. So you should be inclusive as far as the public spaces. That makes total sense. Those people are like, oh, there's a war on Christmas. We're not even a Christian country. I'm not swaying. I just have swagger. Good attempt. All right. That means I didn't get it, so. All right. I have another question. I have a list of questions for you guys. Oh, this might just be a dialect thing or not, but less than 10% of people attend church in the UK. Do you think there'd ever be a situation where you would abolish the Church of England? Maybe not abolish, that might not be the right word, but not make it a national thing, like a national religion, or you would just keep it the way you are, like the way it is? My guess is you would just keep it the way it is because you're very traditionalist in a lot of senses. Um, and my guess is that's why a lot of people go to churches on weddings and funerals, even though they wouldn't go to them on Sundays. I find that very interesting. Minneapolis is back to normal now. Thank you. The church won't go, they'll just keep it as it is. Yeah, that would have been my guess. That was my guess. Okay, so this is another thing, like I said, it might be a dialect thing, and it might just be like a region thing or something, I don't know. But why do some, not everybody, but some British people, when they say words like three, they say it with an F, like free. And you're supposed to know they mean three. What the hell is that? It's like they're counting like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get that. It's not everybody, and I can't even tell. It's not a regional thing because it's not like everybody in my town or everyone in this area that I've met does it. It's like random. So is that like a dialect thing, or is that like a education thing, or is that just like a pronunciation, like a personal thing for those people? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I'm genuinely asking. Chiako says drinking rum at 10 a.m. tomorrow makes me a pirate. I consider drinking rum at any point makes you a pirate, but definitely badass if you're drinking it at 10 a.m. But are you singing a pirate song? Do you have a hook for a hand, or are you wearing an eye patch? Because that really sells it. Especially if you're drinking that Captain Morgan's. Let's be fair. But okay, so I hear you, TJ, right? And I know that there's a ton of religions here in England and in the UK as a whole. But the king is the head of the church, right? I guess that's why I thought it was like a national religion, or maybe that's just like an American term to describe the situation, and it's getting lost in translation. It could very well be. They could just be lazy. How is that like? Does it save you time? Like, does it save you time to say free instead of three? I How is it lazy? Oh my god! That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. What does it save? What is it? What does it do for you to say free instead of three? I don't understand. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that, Sam K. Wait, I gotta get my planner out and write that down again. See? Sam K, you always got the ideas, bro. I put other Yanks in the UK, but it's basically the same gist. I was a kid who had a speech impediment, and I had issues with my S's. I would say them as like TH, and I went to like a therapist, like a speech therapist in my school to treat it. So is it just something like that? Is it just like a speech impediment type of situation? Yeah, I guess that's what you're saying, right, TJ? Because that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Or late. I just don't understand how it's lazy. Like, how is that? How is it lazy? Of course, you don't have Mormons because Mormons believe that Jesus, like, came back already, and he came back in Utah. That's a very American fucking thing to think and to preach. Here's my thing. I'm not I'm not knocking my country. There's plenty of reasons to knock my country. I'm not going to knock a religion to knock it, right? But I'm not going to use religion to knock the United States because plenty of other reasons. That's what I meant to say. But how American is it to develop a religion that you're the center of Christianity? That was around long before America was a thing. Fucking Americans. The Church of England is the established religion. It's the established church. Is there a difference between established and national religion? I assume there is because you're pointing it out, Roy, but I'm genuinely not understanding it. I'm not trying to be obnoxious. Up. TJ says you got some Mormons up in the north. Up in Liverpool. Up in Liverpool. Oh, Girl Gone London, love her. She's awesome. Kaylee, I think, right? Kaylin. Are you fucking joking, Chris? Hip over 50. A YouTube channel. You're talking about YouTube channel, right, Sam? I think I know it. I have to be completely honest. I've reached out to a couple like American YouTubers that are in the UK, but I haven't reached out to a lot. And in all fairness, it's because I kind of feel self-conscious about it. I don't know why. I'd be like, hey, I'm an American in UK too. You want to be friends? Comes off so desperate. I'm not one of those, like, it's not that I'm not an assertive person, but I'm just not one of those people that is I actually struggle initiating conversation. Like, this is easy for me because I don't really have to talk to you face to face, and I have kind of pre-planned stuff, right? That I thought about that I want to talk about. And then I just go with it from there. But actually starting a conversation up with like a stranger, it's actually really hard for me. So I would love to be able to be a part of like a community of that, but I just don't. I don't know. Every time I go to do it, I feel super self-conscious about it. I would like to get over that. That would be nice. I still don't understand what the laziness is about it. Oh, Manny, you're so sweet. Thank you. She's been here a lot longer than I have as well. And I think she's younger than me too. She might have a good insight. And you know, I was watching her channel actually to learn about some stuff when we decided we were gonna move. Her and Evan Edinger, I think that's his name. I can't remember his last name, but he's from New Jersey, so that's part of the reason why I was drawn to him as well. I've heard apple pie was a British creation, but I didn't know that eggnog was. But honestly, I just assume everything in America is pretty much from a different culture until I'm proven otherwise. I'm just being honest with you because 99% of it is, even if it's got like an Americanized version of it. What the hell does tongue-tied mean? Is your version of tongue-tied different? Tongue-tied means you can't speak properly. Is that the same? Am I just missing something? Chris is serious. They started the Mormon. His family started the Mormon religion. Chris, you're incredible. You've had one of the most fascinating lives I've ever heard, and I only know like 10 things. Here's the thing, Sam. It's not that I'm not outgoing, because you know, I can talk to you guys and everything like that. It's I personally just have the initiation issue, right? Like if we're, for example, when I used to go out and like hang out at bars or whatever, I used to go and sit at the bar, and I would talk to the bartender about what I wanted or anything like that, but I wouldn't have actual banter or anything with them till they initiated it. Once they initiated it, I'm all out. I'm good. Like I'll go with it, right? But I have this like slight issue with the startup version of the conversation. That's all. Unless we're on common ground already. Right? So like if we're both sitting in the waiting room at the doctor's office and someone comes in and they trip and we laugh, that's common ground, and then I'm good, right? But I can't, that common ground has to be established or someone else has to initiate. But once that like small little hurdle's over, I let loose and I'm all over it. But it just like I have trouble sometimes like finding that small talk jump because I hate small talk. Like, I think it's unnecessary and ridiculous. I love having conversations. I love talking to people, love learning about people and their lives. I will listen until the cows come home. But I don't like having conversations just for the sake of having conversations. I don't like talking about shit for no reason. If you don't have something valid to say, you don't have something to actually offer, what's the point? It's okay. I'm not judging it, but what's the point of talking just for the sake of talking? Like there's some people that I know that are like this, and I'm not judging them. They are who they are, and whatever makes them happy and whatever makes them tick. But there are people that I know that are like this, and I sit next to them, or are we're in a setting, and they'll start talking randomly out of the blue about something, and I'm just like, were we in a like I was watching something on my phone. Were we in a conversation? Like, and it's not necessarily because they have anything substantive to talk about, or they want to talk about something, or they want to comment on what I'm watching, or get me engaged in something. They just can't not talk. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what they're like, hey, how's the weather? Like, I'm not good with that stuff. That small talk stuff I think is painful. It's painful for me. I can't do it. And like the coming into work and like having to say good morning to like 17 people. Oh, it's like fucking torture for me. Because I'm just like, I'm not here to be friends. I'll be friendly with you. I don't have a problem with that. But and I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I'm not a rude person, but like, I'm not here. I don't care how your night was, in all honesty. Like, we're not friends. We're workmates. That's a big difference. I know it makes me sound like a heartless bitch, but I'm really not. I promise. You guys know I'm not. You've been around for a while, but I'm not into unnecessary conversation. I don't know. I can't explain it any better than that. Plus, I've had a couple drinks. All right. If that's a legit TJ, if that's a legit invitation, I will go live with you. We'll do an hour live, just you and me talking shit. You can teach me about Liverpool. I'll answer any questions you have. but you'll have to initiate it. That's my only condition. Oh, see, you were so nice in inviting me to do a live with you. Then your very next comment has to be some fighting words. They weren't Brits. They were like third generation Americans. They had been born in America. I know technically Britain owned them at that time, but I'm just saying. You want to start another revolution? Is that what you want to do, TJ? Oh, we have I would say 90%, oh no, I would say 80% of our history is British. 10% of it is Native American that we've adopted saying that it's American, even though it's actually Native American history. And then I'd say that the other 10% is a compilation of all the other countries. That would be my assessment. There's probably maybe a 0.002% of American culture that's authentically American. Like barbecue. Uncle Sam. Shut the F up, Chris! Oh, Chris. I have to have a sideline with you. The shin under the tongue is very, very short. My son had to have it snipped. Is that what tongue tied is? Really? Like that? That? I don't know. I don't know what the shin under the tongue is. But is that what you're talking, like what connects the tongue to the mouth? Is that what you're talking about? And is that what tongue tied is? A genuine question. It's not making fun of anybody or anything like that. You haven't been to its pub in 10 years, Falco? Are you actually British? I was just in a pub like 3 days ago. Legit offer, then I've got it. I'm on it. You would actually do it too, probably, TJ. No, but see, like if I know what's happening, I'll come with some notes prepared about stuff to ask you or something. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not good at the like spontaneous initiation. You know what I mean? Like if we're just random, I'll tell you this story. Okay. This will probably illustrate it really well. I was in a work meeting with some two people from out of town. They were from a different country. I can't remember which country it was. They were from out of town. Obviously, they're from a different country. So anyway, we had a meeting with like 5 or 6 of us and these two ladies. And they had never been to the US before. And slowly, one by one, for one reason or another, people kept leaving the meeting. And at one point, I was alone with the 2 of them in the meeting room, in the conference room, at the end of the meeting. And it was literal silence for 15 minutes because I could not think of anything to ask them or talk to them about. Even though I knew it was their first time being in America, and there's tons of things that I could have asked them, like, oh, you're gonna go to New York, maybe you should visit Philadelphia, you know, go see this Empire State Building, like random stuff that you would say to anybody. I could not think of it. I was like frozen in fear or something. Like, it just I couldn't get my head around it. And the minute I walked out of the room, I was like, I thought of like 20 things to ask them. I have that like initiation problem. I don't know what it is. It's just in those types of settings, the forced social setting. I hate the forced socializing. It drives me insane. I'll be social with people. I love people. I love talking. You could tell because I never shut the fuck up. That's why my editing takes so long, because I'll do like a 30-minute video about a 10-minute topic. But I can't seem to, like, when I'm in forced situations, I don't have that like schmoozing small talk initiative because I don't care. Like, if I want to have a conversation with you, I'll have a conversation with you. If I don't, I can't think of anything to say. Even one of the Americans' graduation song is based on a British song. Is that the da 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 da? That's like the only song they play at graduations in America. There's a few American songs that are based on British songs. I'm just letting you know. So if you want to play that game, we can play that game. That's the bit of the tongue. Okay. I really didn't know, honestly. And that's the phrase that tongue-tied comes from? Is that little thing of the tongue underneath? Okay. Are you talking about like a Witherspoon, Sam? And the only reason I'm asking is because I literally had my very first breakfast at a Witherspoon's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it actually was the closest thing to an American diner that I have been to since I've been here. And you're saying it's microwaved food? That totally makes sense. I know you would, TJ. It would be good fun, though. Falco is Irish, but lived in England for a really, really long time. Oh. I don't want to start anything. But, like, are you from Ireland or Northern Ireland? If it's okay for me to ask without starting any shit or offending anybody. The Star Spangled Banner is by a Brit. Like, yeah. Basically, they were all Brits at one point. At least in that era. Not necessarily, because the Dutch settled in the New York area, and the Spanish settled in the south of America, and the French even settled a portion of like the Panhandle, which, if you guys don't know what the Panhandle is, so there's like Texas, right, and then it kind of goes like that, and then it goes down, and this is Florida, and that's like the Gulf of Mexico, that body of water. Panhandle is like that area of continent above the Gulf of Mexico. So the French actually settled portions of that Panhandle. So it's not exclusively Brit. That is the beauty of America. We are a melting pot of chaos. Londonderry. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Wait, isn't there a show called The Derry Girls that's set in Ireland? I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard of it. Is that like the area you're talking about? Or am I just way off? Yes, New York was originally Dutch. Thank you for validating me, Chris. I knew that. There's a lot of Dutch names, counties, and cities in New York, actually. Londonderry. Okay. Australia was once called New Holland. I've been to Holland. Well, I should say I've been to Amsterdam. Very lovely place. I enjoyed myself. Americans need to learn British humor. I'm trying. I'm a novice, but I'm trying really hard. It's Derry. Okay. Let me ask you a new question. This is also a legit question that I don't understand. What is a bus gate and what is the reason to have them? I'll tell you what's prompted the question. We moved to this house out of the flat primarily for location. Well, there's other reasons about management, and it was a little bit cheaper as well. But primarily for location. It was a little bit closer to the train station, so that made it more walkable for me. And also better access to town, where it wasn't as you didn't have to go through some shady areas, right, to get to town. So again, because I'm a walker and I don't have a car or anything like that, it was primarily for me. I'll be honest, it was primarily for me. And we were very excited because it was so close to everything. But there's a freaking bus gate between the main road outside of town and our road. So the main road's here. There's a road connecting here that we live on, but there's a bus gate like right there. That shit sucks. And I don't understand the reason for it. And it's like that big. So only buses can go through and taxis can go through. So we literally have to go this way, all the way around to the end of town to get into town if we're driving. What the hell? Again, this doesn't really affect me personally too much because I walk everywhere pretty much, but like it's still a pain in the ass. And also when people come to visit us, we have to remind them, hey, there's a bus gate, so you have to go all the way around to get to our house. Like, what is it and what's the purpose? Legit question. Please school me because it's aggravating me. Are you trying to say, TJ, that I'm not doing very well? I thought I had some drippage. Just to keep cars out of center, like out of town center. But we're not anywhere near town center. Like, we're on the outskirts. I don't know if it's the outskirts of town. We're still in town. But here's the other kicker. You ready? So it's the bus gate this way to the main road, right? Then this road on this side goes to a dead end. And then this road on this side, on this edge of here's the main road. Let me illustrate. This is the main road. There's the bus gate. There's the bus gate. Then there's a road like that. And then if you continue on to the bus gate, then it's our road, which is a two-way. Okay? This way, it goes to a dead end. This way goes around the houses to the back. So there's no real way around the bus gate either, unless you go down all the way to the end of this road and go to the roundabout to go out towards like the motorway, the highway, it's the motorway. I said it right the first time. It's just like if we just wanted to drop somebody off at the train station, we literally have to go like 10, 15 minutes out of our way when it's a 5-minute walk. It's just frustrating because it seems to not really give any. If there was a reason for it, like if it was a disabled situation or if it was like a bus stop only, I get it. Totally understand. I would not complain about it at all. It doesn't seem to serve any purpose, and I think that's why I'm frustrated with it. So that's why I'm trying to understand it so I can get over that frustration. It doesn't suck if you drive a bus. Thanks, Mick. You served in the British Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. It saves time on the bus routes. That's fine. Like I'm not begrudging cabs or buses coming that way. I'm saying why can't cars come that way too? As long as there's, the normal right of way leverage, like courtesy. Right? Like I'm just saying, like if you're gonna pull over and let the bus come through anyway, so what difference? Why can't the car just go that way? Especially because there's a light at the end of the road. There's a light and a gas station or a petrol station. But it's on the other side of the bus gate. So if we wanted to get petrol in our car, we have to go all the way around to come down this way. But it's literally right like a block away from where we live. It's driving me crazy. You always have those random jokes. Yeah. Okay, Manny's got a question. Legit question. Let's go. As you've lived in the UK now, which accent do you find it easy or hard to understand, and which accent, if you could, would you like to speak? If I could, I'd love to speak the Cockney accent because I just think it's fun. The only Cockney accent I can do is the Dick Van Dyke accent from Mary Poppins, though, which I know is not right. I know that silhouette anywhere. It's Mary Poppins. What accent do you find it easy to? The posh accent is the easiest to understand, in all fairness. The hardest to understand is the Scottish accent. It's probably a toss up between Scottish and Irish, but to be fair, I haven't had as much. I know Ireland itself is not part of the UK. I'm just saying it's probably a toss up between Scottish and Irish for me to differentiate, and I haven't had as much exposure to the Irish accent, so I'm not 100% sure if it's just because I haven't had as much exposure or it's because I'm actually like having trouble. But when we were in Scotland, I didn't understand anything anyone was saying. Literally, whenever we go to a foreign country now, I like totally I'm like an infant. I rely on my partner and my daughter to get me through. Like, unless they speak English, I'm awful. You should have seen us when we were in Greece. Oh my god, I was a mess. I didn't know anything was going on. I tried really hard. I learned how to say hello, which is yasus, I think. And then efkaristo, which is thank you or please. It's one of those two. It's thank you. FK says thank you very much, and then they would say kariso, which is thanks. And that I made sure I learned those things because I wanted to not be obnoxious American, but I'm a mess when it comes to languages. I'm so bad at it, and my daughter's really really good at it. I rely on them so much when we go to foreign countries. God help me if I ever had to live in a foreign country. I don't know if I could do it. You should. When I went to Australia, we went, my sister studied in Australia for a semester, so I went to visit her, and we went to a grocery store when I first got there. First, like maybe a couple hours after getting off the plane. And we're checking out, and the cashier recognized obviously that I'm not from Australia and started talking to me, and I literally had no idea what they were saying. And it was English. And my sister's laughing at me because obviously she had been there a couple months, right? And she knew like the accent better and everything. She and the cashier were laughing at me, and I was literally like, I don't know what he's asking me. And it was English. I'm really bad at it. So I have a hard time. I have a hard time. I'm getting a little bit better though. Very long road if it's a gas station. I don't know that I get that joke, but that might be an American British thing. Toast makes a great downstairs neighbor. It keeps popping up to see you. Did you know? I'm sure you all probably knew already, but I literally just found this out like a couple months ago maybe, that the numbers on the side of the toaster is not like how light or dark you want the toast, it's how long you want the bread in the actual toaster. It's like a timer. I didn't know that. So I'd share it though. Before you retired, you were a bus driver for 40 years. Okay, Mick, then what's the point of the bus gate? Please, please, I'm desperate to find out what the function is. Listen to Danny Dyer. Is he Cockney? Is that why you're telling me to do that, Chris? I'm assuming that's why. I'd carry off Cockney well, I think. Thanks, Manny. I wish I had your confidence. You should go and did you watch my series? Did you watch the insult one where I did it in British accents? I don't know if you'd feel the same after you saw that. It was not my best video. I was probably entertaining for all of you, but it was not my best video as far as I'm concerned. EastEnders is the Cockney. And then what is it? Coronation Street, that's the posh people. Is that the right? Am I right? Downtown Abbey's in there somewhere too, I think. I know they're all those are the stuff. I've never seen any of them. So I don't know. But Mick says the purpose of the bus gate is to frustrate car drivers, to force drivers on public transport. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, as for me personally, it doesn't really affect me personally that much, except that when I do get a ride in the morning to work and I don't have to take the train, we have to go down and around because I work on that end of town. It's actually outside of town. I work in the boonies. Like I work in the middle, like the building's literally in the middle of the countryside between two towns. It's crazy. I mean, in all fairness, when I do take the train, I get to see great sunrises. And I do get to see nice sunsets as I'm walking to the train station. But it's a pain in the ass. It's a long walk. And it's a busy road, so it's loud. So I can't, even like listening to music and stuff is disruptive. Anyway. It's an hour and a half in, and I'm still drinking and talking to you guys. I hope you guys are all right with that. I've seen the two bunnies, but it's been a long time, in all honesty. Chaz and Dave. Okay, that's another one. I don't know. You probably did send it. Chris, you sent me like 30 things, and I've gotten through like 5 of them. But I have them all in a separate folder so that I can check them all out. I don't know what you're telling me I'm correct on. The EastEnders thing, maybe? The EastEnders and Coronation Street thing, maybe? Oh, you did see that? It's also it wasn't that great. Is that supposed to be Mank? Manc? M-A-N-C? I like to hear all of you guys do an American accent. And not just any my American accent, my New Jersey accent, not New York, not Philly, not Southern, not Cali, a New Jersey accent. That's what I'd like to see. Because 98% of the people try to do a New Jersey accent, do a New York accent. And it's not the same. I'm just saying. Then you can judge me. When are we going to start the show? What are you talking? I don't know. Whenever I feel like it, I guess. Maybe at like 11:30. Since it's a New Year's Eve show. More bloopers, Sam? Why? That wasn't enough? There's a whole bloopers reel out there. It's like 3 minutes long. Seriously, though, if you guys, Chris and anyone else, if you have stuff that you think I would enjoy or you want me to react to, send it to me because I definitely, I enjoy it. I learn a lot from it just from chatting with you guys. So you can do a Southern accent if you're singing, but it depends on the song you're singing. What song is your go-to? What song is your go-to when you sing in an American accent? I'm curious. Al Murray's New York accent was good, in all fairness. I liked him. He was really funny. All right, I have another one, and this is kind of a fun one, and it's a serious question, but I'm sure you guys are going to think I'm taking the piss. I come from an area where strip clubs are frequent. Let's just put it that way. And I'm very, very curious, number one, if you have them here, because I have not seen any, even in London, unless they're very well masked. And number two, if you do have them, how do you tip because you don't have pound bills? Not that I'm an expert or anything. I'm just curious. No joke. I saw a delivery guy as I was walking from the train station. I literally saw a delivery guy. Notice it was the bus gate. Get off of his. It was like a motorized scooter. It wasn't an actual motorcycle. It was like a motorized scooter. And he got off of the scooter, then walked his scooter on the sidewalk past the bus gate, and then got back on it. And I was like, "What is the point? Take it away! It's not doing any good for anybody." And it's literally like a foot long. Anyway. Oh, thank you, Giant Haystacks. Appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful new year and nothing but the best for 2025. I hope it's safe and prosperous for you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Oh, Don't Want Down to Georgia. I love that song. It's a great song. The fiddle playing in that is fantastic. I bet you so, because that was the best there ever been. Yeah, that's a very Southern accent. You have a Hooters? Is that a point of pride? I'm not going to get into Hooters. It's not the best reputation in America, but that's because we have all of our puritanical fucking ideals that still trickle down about sex and stuff and sexual politics. But I just think it's really randomly funny that you threw that in there, TJ. Sam, you can put crude jokes in. I don't mind. I actually like a good dirty joke every now and then. So go for it, bro. The live stream is for free for all as far as I'm concerned. Whatever keeps us going and whatever is fun. Live stream's my fun night. Anything goes. I think Chris broke the mold on the crude jokes. The seal has been broken, Chris. Cheers. They get a $5. Damn. You get $1 bill if you're lucky in the strip clubs in America. You don't get a $5. Mm-mm. Not unless you're really good or you're really hot. I do. I love snooker, but I think a lot of the snooker is because I really like, I don't know if it's billiards or pool. I've gotten some weird comments about how I've said it wrong or I've identified the wrong sport or something. But the stars and stripes. The solids and stripes game. I play that a lot. And I really enjoy it. So I think that's why I'm kind of drawn to snooker and darts. I don't know. Darts is actually a lot more exciting to watch as far as competition than I thought it would be. And I actually haven't been able to watch any of the competition now, but I know that I think in a day or so, the finals start, and I already told everybody in the family, I'm like, I have dibs on the TV and we're watching darts. I really enjoy it. I really like it a lot. And it might have to do that it has a somewhat association with drinking, but I think more so, shocking. I think more so it has an association with my life in America as well. Football is kind of my partner's thing because he was a player and a coach for so long. So it's kind of his thing. And it's not that I don't enjoy watching it, but it's just, I don't get obsessed with it like a lot of people do. I enjoy rugby, but I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. So I'm still learning it. And I'm just starting to learn the rules of cricket and stuff. And cricket's tough because it's a very long game and there's a lot of back and forth and changeover. So cricket's hard. So I think those are the only ones I've been exposed to, at least on a regular basis. So out of all of the ones I've been exposed to on a regular basis, darts and snooker are my favorite. The other thing I was exposed to on a regular basis it's probably not a British sport, it's just probably an international sport, but for some reason I was exposed to it a lot, but against my will. The strongman competition. Fucking stab me in the eye. I'm done. Jesus. Oh, it's so boring. I don't understand. I understand why it's appealing. I just don't it's not appealing to me. And I literally have had to sit through a few of those competitions and I wanted to fucking impale myself. Not so much with darts and snooker though. Do map men English place names? I don't know what are you asking me to do something? I don't know what you mean. Oh, it's not a point of pride for you. Got it, TJ. It's not like, look, I know a lot of women that make really good tips working at a place like Hooters, and it's not the most. Look, I'm of the like, I don't care. Like, if it's your body. I'm all about bodily autonomy. So if it's your body and you want to sell it by posing nude in an artistic way, or you want to strip, or you want to be at Hooters, or you want to be a sex worker, like, it's your body. I don't give a fuck what you do. I think it should all be legal and it should be protected because it's all work at the end of the day. But I know a lot of people that make really good money doing stuff like that. I know somebody who is on OnlyFans and also does another job on the side and makes twice as much money on OnlyFans than they do on their other job. And they don't have to do anything really but take pictures of themselves. So, like, there's a market for it, and there always has been. It's the oldest profession in the world when it comes to like any kind of provocative stuff. So Hooters is just capitalizing on that. I never really got the controversy about it. I know people who have gotten upset with their partners for going to Hooters or a strip club even, but even Hooters, like, just to have wings or stuff. And it's just kind of like, people be people. Like, that's not going to go away. No matter what you do, no matter how much society evolves, your natural instincts are going to kick in at some point. So I don't know that it doesn't have to be a point of pride, but I've heard, I don't know what the wings are like here in England, because the American brands here are very different than the American brands in America. But the wings in Hooters and some of the food in Hooters is really, really good. No joke. Hands down. I'm not going to put that comment up, Chris, just for any of the replays, but I'm a little disturbed by that request. I don't have a problem with what she's doing, but it's weird that your dad would want to be there. I was in a show once where I played a stripper. Actually, it wasn't a stripper. It was a prostitute. I played a prostitute. And I had to pick someone, like a seat. And during rehearsals, we had to pick a seat in the audience to seduce. And of course, because of my luck, on opening night, my dad sat in the exact seat that I rehearsed seducing. And that was really uncomfortable. And I wasn't actually a prostitute. I was just playing a prostitute. And I remember having a conversation with my dad afterwards. He's like, yeah, I never want to go through that again. So that's a really interesting request. Unless the dad's super open-minded and stuff. But judging by your responses, I would say no. As open-minded and accepting as I am of that choice, if my daughter was doing it, I would have a hard time watching her do it. So I hear you. Some people prefer using their cards. I've heard that, I've only heard, obviously. I've only heard swiping can be quite a preference from what I've heard. Yes. See, I knew it was coming up, the darts finals. I had this conversation the other day because I'd watched like some prelim stuff and I picked out my favorites. And then I watched Bullseye. There was a special episode of Bullseye with Luke Litter. Littler, Luke Littler was on it. I watched a special episode of Bullseye. I think I was doing something and somebody put it on. But anyway, it was still fun. And I was like, I like him. And I think it's cool that he's like a phenom and everything. But my favorite so far, and I can't remember his name, it's terrible of me, but his name was, had like really long hair and he had a red and black shirt on and he was like a heavy metal guy. And he was just really fun and interesting to watch. He reminded me, I don't know if he was British or Canadian, but he had that kind of Western vibe, and I think I kind of identified with it. I was drawn to it. Reminded me of like my rock days. I like rock. I'm a kind of a 70s rock chick, so he kind of reminded me of that. It's heavy metal. I'm not really into heavy metal, like old school metal. But that's my boy. That's who I'm rooting for. I don't know if he made the finals. He won that round that I watched, but I don't know if he made the final or the quarterfinals. I don't want to see a naked Boris Johnson. He is definitely not my type. I like him when he combs his hair. Oh, I keep telling my sons to get on an OnlyFans, but they don't want me to lose my independence. No joke. I literally have seen people pay to watch people sleep. Is that a thing? Like, as a person, I'm creeped out by someone that wants to watch me sleep. Even someone that I've been intimate with. I think it's creepy. To accept money for a stranger to pay to watch you sleep. I'm not saying I'd never do it if the money was actually right, but it's still creepy. That's a really like private, intimate moment. What kind of satisfaction or jolly do you get from watching someone sleep? Is it just hoping they touch themselves, or like I don't know what that is. That's a really weird fetish. I get like the feet fetish, and I get like that people like to, want exclusive pictures of you doing whatever. That everyone has their thing. This watching someone sleep, I just find creepy. So I would be solely supportive of your OnlyFans page, TJ, as long as it wasn't the creepy watching sleep. I just find that creepy. I'm not going to say I wouldn't do it for the right amount of money, but I'm just saying that like because I'd just be sleeping. And to be all honest, I don't sleep in a sexy way at all. I'm like, when I sleep, like it's not sexy. It is. I'm like, I snore. Like I'm not. I have. Trust me. But if you want to pay for it, have at it. All to you. I'll, everyone to their thing, dude. I legit was like thinking about this on the train. Like in America, you normally give dollar bills. And if you really like someone, you might give them a $5. But most of the time, it's just dollar bills. And they even have this, I don't know, I assume they have it here in strip clubs here. But I've literally not seen a strip club here. Like I said, unless they're really well masked. But they have this thing where they'll let it rain. So you like do some kind of sexy dance and you lay on the floor and the rest of the strippers or the patrons will throw like dollar bills all over you. And you get to keep all of that yourself, right? And I mean, that's obviously lucrative for that person that's doing the dance or whatever, and go for it. But it's only dollar bills. Like, I don't know anyone that threw like a tenner out or even a fiver. So that's why I was like, you don't have $1 bills or £1 bills. Sorry, £1 bills. You don't even have £2 bills. £5. It's a pretty nice tip for a culture that doesn't tip. If you catch my drift. America is known for their tipping culture, yet they're stingy as fuck on tipping, especially in the situation like a stripper who's showing everything. You'd think they'd be a little more, appreciative. But instead, as I'm saying it, I'm like, yeah, the British people, they're more community oriented, they're more appreciative. It makes sense. They're not as stingy and obnoxious and selfish. Yeah, never mind. Manny's rooting for Luke Littler. I mean, I think it would be cool because I like the idea of like a young phenom dart player like winning it all. Like that would be really awesome just for the sport and everything. And he seems pretty like down to earth and everything. So that would be cool. But he's not my guy, in all honesty. Ryan Steele. That's his name. Ryan Steele. I knew I'd know it as soon as I heard it. Yeah, he's cool, and I really liked his whole like approach to it and everything. I just enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed his throw a lot. I worked a Dream Boys gig and was working as medic security woman's hands were going up and down within my clothes, and my wife was there, but they weren't her hands. She was drunk. Chris, you have to be one of the most fascinating people I've ever met in my life. No joke. I'm not even trying to blow smoke up your ass. No joke. I just got a notification it might be light rain where I live. Just letting you know. In like 12 minutes. Just in case you're in the area. You could retire and someone to pay to watch your son sleep. Seriously, like, is it entertaining? That's what I'm trying to. Is it like they want to? I hate to be stereotyped or to stereotype other people, I should say. But heterosexual men can be quite creepy. So I can understand why men would pay more for watching a woman sleep in a heterosexual like fantasy. And if you can make that fantasy real on a site like OnlyFans, then they would probably pay for it because heterosexual men can be super creepy. But I just don't understand why it's sexy. I guess it's sexy because they're like rolling around in their underwear. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of the sexiest person in my mind. And I'm trying to imagine myself paying to watch them sleep. I'm not saying I wouldn't pay to watch them do stuff. But sleep, it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I don't understand the appeal. But to each their own. People like what they like. Why would I think of that on the train? Because my mind wanders a lot. And it stops me from singing on the train and having people look at me like I'm crazy. Okay, Sam, you need to watch my bloopers reel because I think that happened to me a couple times when I didn't know that's what it was. I figured it out after the fact. But there's literally times where things were happening on the screen and I was just like, I didn't press any buttons. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I'm a little bit of a boomer when it comes to technology. Because obviously I'm not like 20. I said obviously. I totally fucking like I totally dogged myself. Obviously I'm 20. Luke the Nuke. Oh, you got it, TJ. 1,000. I don't know your son. I'm sure he's very good looking. But even an average looking person in a good uniform will get a heterosexual woman hot. Guarantee. I'm with you on that. I have to speak from my own experience, of course, from my perspective. I love the Class A uniform of the United States Marine Corps. And there have been a few Marines in my time. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to regret this in the morning, Falco. I don't regret being who I am. I'm cool. Don't worry. I might lose subscribers. And I might not have anybody watch me on my next stream, but I won't regret it. But I appreciate you trying to look out. I have a list of New Year's resolutions. So one of them is obviously try to grow the channel. One of the biggest ones is to not be so formulaic with my content. When I first started the YouTube channel, because like one person was watching me, I was a little less inhibited and a little less like, I was just more open. I was just talking like to myself, basically, like I was writing a diary. That's why it's called the Hickson Diaries. And I really enjoyed that, even though it was a little bit like uncentered and a little bit all over the place and rambly. It was real, right? And then I started to grow a bit and I started to do some research on how I can grow the channel. And I started following some of the advice that I was getting from people. And it turned and kind of morphed into a version of the channel. I don't want to say it wasn't authentic because it was, but it was more of like following someone else's kind of path for the channel rather than my own. And as I've been doing some reflecting in the last couple weeks, and while I was doing the series and reflecting and just being really honest and not being so hell-bent on getting the numbers and all that kind of stuff and the keywords and shit like that. Excuse me. It's a couple drinks in. But not getting so hell-bent on like, SEO optimization and technical crap behind the scenes to try to trigger the algorithm and bullshit like that. I realized I miss just kind of not, just being free and not really caring that much about it. And so I said that for 2025 for the channel that I'm going to upload more, try to upload more content overall and not just do the live stream and the one blog. I'm going to try to do some more stuff in between. But also, I want to do more stuff that reflects a little bit more authenticity, a little bit more of like my real life. Because the reason I started this was it's my diary. It's basically a journal about my life here in the UK and the things that I'm experiencing, going through, good, bad, ugly, and different. And I feel like I got away from that a little bit because I was kind of chasing the numbers a little too much. And trying to grow it rather than focusing on just doing really great content, or at least content that was true to my life and who I am. So one of my things about 2025 is that I'm going to try to just be a little bit more about what's happening in my life and not care so much about what people, I hate to say it like this because it's not that I don't want people to like my content or don't want to please the audience, but a little less focus on what people like and what people are expecting, and a little more focus on what I want to do. If that translates. I don't mean to be disrespectful, because my channel has grown so much more than I ever thought it would, and I'm super appreciative of it, and I'm so excited to have it and have all of you around. But I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing for that it's something that I'm proud of, that I can look back on. And it's not that I'm not proud of the content. It's just that I know I could have done it better if I had a little bit more time and was able to put a little more thought behind it. So I want to get to a point where that's really what I'm putting behind, and that it's documenting my life and not just comparing. I've gotten a lot more focused on comparisons between the US and the UK, and less and I've been pulled away from the actual documentation of my life. So I just want to get back to a little bit more of the documentation. So hopefully it'll be pleasing to everybody as well in those senses. It'll be kind of a mixture of things. It'll be some travel stuff in there mixed in as well. But I want to publish more content, and I want to publish more content that's a little bit more documentary. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys like it. What's Sir Sean Company? What's that? Grace, you're back. Woo! Mick, no joke. I'm actually pretty good. I try to be really hard. I actually have a video idea that I'm going to be working on. It's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, about like people who are adverse to change and want to go back to a different era. I try really, really hard to be as versed in what's happening in the world as far as like technology and what the trends are and stuff like that. Not necessarily for like my own growth, but just to not be left behind, right? And no offense to you or anything or anyone else, but I don't want to be one of those people that like in 10 years is like useless. Like one of my biggest fears, especially in like my profession, is to be like not able to function if there's like a new computer system or something. So, but I've fallen into the same category that you have, Mick, where I find myself taking longer to figure things out than I would have liked. And I'm asking my daughter questions like, hey, is this like a joke, or is this real? Or what does this mean when people say this to me? What does this mean? So I'm in the same boat as much as I'm trying to fight it. I don't take anything personal. And why are you telling me to stop? I don't take anything personally, really. I don't. If I take it personal, it's only because it's triggering something that I'm battling. But otherwise, I don't take much personally. I believe everyone has their opinion, and everyone has right to express their opinion. And if I'm not your cup of tea, I'm not your cup of tea. I have had what is this, like 3? Is this 3? I think it's 3. We're at the 2-hour setting. I have no idea what time it is on New Year. That's weird. Should probably try to figure that out. It's 10:09. Still early. No fireworks where I am, as far as I can tell. And no one has asked me a question in a while. Why are you useless now, TJ? You're not useless. Aww. Thank you, Falco. I love hugs. I'm a hugger. Not not for strangers. Like, I will just go up to a stranger and hug them or anything. But like with my friends, I'm very huggy with my friends. If it's somebody that I very much value, I love giving hugs and stuff like that. And when I remember my friends were kind of like that too. And I introduced my partner to my friends for the first time. He's not a hugger. And they all like hugged him and like gave him a kiss on the cheek and stuff when they first met him. And he was like, "What the fuck? Why are they touching me?" And all my friends were like, "What's wrong with your friend? What's wrong with your boyfriend?" I was like, "Oh, he's just not like a physical, affectionate person with people he doesn't know." But it was really funny. But because we're all like huggers. I love hugs. I would take a hug in a second. I think hugs are great. Don't say my personal life on YouTube. I'm very cautious. There's a lot of people in my life that want to keep things private. So I try to be very respectful of that. And when I talk about stuff on YouTube, I talk about stuff that I would talk about anyway. Like I would tell a new friend. I don't say anything. There's a lot of stuff going on in my private life and about me personally that I have not divulged on YouTube. So I appreciate your concern, Sam. Thanks. But I I will only let out what I want to let out. But at the end of the day, this is my channel and it's about me. So me holding back things is a version of me that is not 100% authentic. So I have to make sure that I'm not coming off as I'm pretending to be, or I'm not being inauthentic in any way, because I don't want to be. Like, if I do end up ever meeting any of you in real life, I don't want you to be like, "Oh, that's not how she is on the screen." Like, I don't want to be that person. So I want to be somebody that people can trust. My thing is honesty at all costs. I'd rather be bluntly honest and lose people than be inauthentic and have 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people following me. But I appreciate your concern. That's an American/British culture like clash as well, because Americans are much more open in general about their lives, and British people tend to be much closer to the vest. There's a lot of British people in my life that have been like, "You're doing a YouTube channel? Really? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? Like, what do you talk about?" Like, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it's about me. It has nothing to do with you, so you're cool." Like, if you don't want to be on it or you don't want to be involved, totally fine. I won't talk about you. So I do think that's a little bit of a culture thing as well, though. Really? I didn't realize you were that old, Mick. Good for you. Have I got whiskey under the desk? No, I have bourbon on top of the desk. Wild turkey. For a good time. I agree with you, TJ. I have the same exact mantra when it comes to my channel. I try to be as real as possible. If someone leaves me a comment and they're like, "You seem like you're fake," which has happened, I'm like, I actually take that I take personally, because I'm like, I don't want to be fake. I hate fake people. I hate people who pretend or put on airs or any of that stuff. I can see right through it immediately. So I hate the BS. I hate bullshit. I want real, I want authenticity, and I try to portray realness and authenticity at all times, publicly, privately, on my channel, whatever. But I have people in my life and I have to respect their privacy, and there are certain things that I'm not going to talk about publicly because is not appropriate. I don't want the whole world knowing about certain things, right? But at the end of the day, this channel is still my diary. And the whole purpose of a diary is to be honest with yourself and be able to process things through your diary and be able to have, a record of things that you've gone through and to be able to reflect and all that kind of stuff. So I named it the Hickson Diaries for a reason. I was trying to be as, real and authentic as possible. The bottle's not empty. There's plenty. And in all fairness, I need to refill, actually. I might have to play a video for you guys so that I can use the restroom because it's getting to be that time. But I'm going to try to hold out. It's not like an emergency or anything. Oh my gosh, Mick. I've heard that people in the north, events and stuff have been canceled due to weather and wind and things like that in the north. So I hope he's safe. I hope your son is safe. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Look, many of you guys know, but I'm the whole reason I'm here in England is because I want my daughter to be safe and have more opportunity than she had in America. And so I'm always going to put that necessity and that regard first. Even when it comes to my channel, nothing about my daughter is posted on this channel without her approval. She's 14 and I still make sure that she has approval of everything that goes out on the internet from my channel, at least. And I approve everything that goes out on the internet from her, anything that she's on social media with. So I'm more protective than you guys realize. Use a bucket? What is it, 1750? With a chamber pot? My biggest thing is indoor plumbing. That's why I hate camping. I'm not peeing in the woods anymore. I've done it. I peed on the side of the road. I've peed in the snow on the highway because I couldn't wait till we got to wherever we were going. I've peed in porta-johns, porta potties, but I don't know what you call them here. The mobile, construction kind of worker bathrooms. I've cleaned those. I need indoor plumbing. I know I'm a little bit prissy. It might come off a little bit prissy. And wherever I go somewhere, I will try anything, but I need indoor plumbing wherever I'm staying. I'm not one of those people that's going to hike up a mountain, sleep at the top of the mountain and pee on a bush. Not anymore. I'm done with that shit in my life. So with all due respect, I'll end the stream if I have to pee that bad. You used to turn the camera off and carry on talking. Do you guys want to hear the toilet flush? Talk about weird fetishes. The neck and shoulder. Well, yeah, the neck and shoulders are. I think this is 4. I think this is drink number 4. It's so good. Oh my god. Oh, wild chick is so good. Oh, so good. Okay. I have another question. I've heard, you guys can verify for me, that prostitution is legal here in the UK. First question, is that Correct. Second question. If prostitution is legal, how come weed isn't? I'll be right back. Oh, my hat dropped. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it any longer. Ew! Okay, there is nothing more disgusting to me than listening to someone else go to the bathroom. It is horrible. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to. I'm not British. I understand everyone does it. It's fine. Everyone's got to go sometimes. You got to do what you got to do. If you're on a long trip and it's only woods and you can't hold it, go in the woods, and I'm cool with that. I'll pull over. It's fine. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. You want to talk about after the fact? That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't want to hear it. Gross. Okay, cool. I'm pretty experienced in this driving in the snow. From my experience, I don't know that I'm experienced in driving in snow in Scotland because those roads are steep. Some of them. That might be a challenge. So good on him. Good on your son. I hope he's safe though. Oh, thanks, Falco. Shall I tell you, when I was in my party days, in my single party days, I would have a bottle of wild turkey, 80 proof, for during the week. And then Friday, Saturday, and it would be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because we did karaoke on Thursdays. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would have 101 proof. That's what I would drink. And I used to be able to drink 101 proof and go to bed without not get a hangover the next day without any remedies ahead of time, while all of my friends were throwing up. Back in the day. So I'm not quite back to my original self. I didn't put on a video. What can I say? I couldn't hold it any longer. I figured I would just drop a question on you guys to discuss. It's about a discussion. It's creating discussion. All right, you have a couple things going on here. Let's unpack this, TJ. First things first. How did you feel about putting your face out there live? I was a little apprehensive at first and nervous at first just because I have that social anxiety issue about like initiating conversation. And I remember the first like 3 or so lives that I did, nobody watched. And I just kind of did them just to get used to doing them. In case I wanted to keep doing them in the future. But now it doesn't bother me as much. I don't have any anxiety about my life being on social media like a lot of other people do, because I don't reveal anything I don't want revealed. Right? I have the good thing about me putting it out there is I have a relative amount of control. Whereas, if someone else is filming you or something, you have no control. So at least I can get ahead of the game, I guess. I don't know. The other thing is the video world and the internet world is the future. And I kind of thought about it being like almost a photo album, like the modern version of a photo album or a slideshow or a home movie. And it's out there forever. And I archive all my stuff anyway on an external hard drive. So even if for some reason YouTube goes away tomorrow or the internet fails or something crazy like that, it's out there. I still have the footage for people to see, people to remember me by. So it doesn't bother me that much. Sometimes some people's comments bother me, I'm not gonna lie, because obviously it's never nice to hear when people don't like you or think, whatever they think of you. But overall, it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm much more comfortable doing it like this than I am in doing it in like a forced social setting. Prostitute is legal, but the John is not. That doesn't make any sense. Unless you're saying like it's okay to prostitute yourself, but it's not okay to solicit it, maybe, which still seems kind of counterproductive and ridiculous. But yeah, I had a biology break, Sam. Sorry, I couldn't hold any. Sometimes that happens. When you drink, you break the seal, and you can't do any more than that. Thank you so much, Manny. I know the stream ran much longer than I anticipated, but I appreciate you hanging in there for us as long as you did. I hope you have an amazing new year. All the best to you and your loved ones. I hope everyone has a safe and prosperous new year. I'm not. I'm really not, Falco. I'm not gonna throw up. I'm tipsy. I'm not gonna lie. I'll keep it real with y'all. But I'm tipsy, but I'm not drunk by any means. Drunk means I wouldn't even be able to make it down the stairs. Stream. You're a dork. But I love it. My younger son just wasted a week at work building the main stage in Edinburgh for the Hominy party tonight, and it was canceled because of safety. Oh, that sucks. But did he get paid? As long as he got paid, then it's not really wasted time. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I've had things like that happen where you work really hard on something and then it just fizzles out into nothing at the end of the day, and you're like, This is far more entertaining than watching a video. Thanks. I'll take that as a compliment. But no one's been able to answer my question. Prostitution is legal here, but weed is not. In America, there's a lot of places where weed is legal and prostitution is illegal everywhere. Except for except for Las Vegas or something like that. That doesn't make any sense. On either side of the pond, in all fairness. Although America is moving towards weed being legal nationally, but not prostitution because they're fucking prudes. I don't understand why prostitution is illegal. I'm going to go on a rant for a second. As I said earlier in the stream, I believe in bodily autonomy. It's your body. So if you're going to give somebody the right to decide if their body can house a fetus and grow a person, but you're not going to give them the right to use their body to make money, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's all along the same lines. It's your body, it's your choice. You should be able to decide what happens in your body. I don't understand the cherry picking of what you can do and can't do with your own body. The same thing with drugs. Personally for me, just my personal opinion, I think all drugs should be legal to an extent. If there's something out there like fentanyl that there's no real medical purpose for, there's no real safe way to use it, then that probably should be at the end of the spectrum, right? But in all fairness, it's my body. So if I want to put some kind of chemical in my body, why do I have to have a doctor prescribe it, and rather than going to a dispensary to get it? It doesn't make any sense. It's my body. I should be able to put into it whatever I want. If I'm allowed to put alcohol into it and tobacco into it and any kind of additives and sugar and BS like that that's in their food, then why can't I put weed or cocaine or heroin or anything else that I decide I want in my body? So the whole prostitution and sex work being illegal or frowned upon or the regulations around it doesn't make any sense to me. And I have this issue in America all the time because there's so many people that use sex work in America to make ends meet, and it's their choice. So they should be able to do it safely, just like anybody else that chooses to work. Anyway. And the same thing about, drugs are just I know drugs are a little bit harder because there's a whole lot of, sometimes it could lead to mental health and issues, and it can lead to crime and things like that. So it's a little bit more of a stickier situation. But in prostitution, you actually prevent crime by having it legal. America's so backwards in so many ways. Anyway. Why don't I party now? Are you asking me, Chris? Or are you asking someone else? I don't party now, honestly, just because I don't. I'm a social drinker. I'm not a person that drinks comes home and has a drink to relax after a long day. So I usually need a reason. I don't go out and party that much because I want to be home and spend time with my kid. And obviously, my kid's not old enough to go party, and if she was, she probably doesn't want her mom there. So. I remember I did go out when I first got here. I went out with some people who were a little bit younger than me for a girls' night, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but by 11 o'clock, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go home and go to bed, and they were still partying, and I was like, yes, I'm probably out of my element here. You can sell it, but nobody can buy it? What the fuck is the point of that? Talk about backwards. Wait, if something gets legalized, you can't tax it. Like, I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, TJ, but I have a question about it. So, like, in America, a lot of the, not a lot, but part of the argument to make weed legal in a lot of the states, there's like 20 or 18 or 20 states that have it legal as a state level, but it's still illegal at a federal level. But part of the argument of making it legal is that you can raise money for the state through tax revenue. So are you saying if you make something like that legal in the UK, you can't raise tax money on it? Is that right? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Because that seems like it doesn't make sense. Because I'm sure they make tax, they have taxes on like alcohol and tobacco, right? So to me, it would just fall in the same line. Prostitution, it should be like all of those things should be regulated in the same way that you would regulate anything else, in my opinion. Both of your kids work for the same company? That's interesting. USA, USA, USA. I'm kind of lost. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to catch up because I took a bathroom break and now I'm behind and I'm trying to catch up. Disco King. Oh my God, Chris. I effing love disco. See, that's how you know I'm not drunk. I'm still like controlling my language. I love disco. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with disco. It's one of my favorite things to dance to. I love it. This is very much the longest stream I've ever done. 2.5 hours we're at. So that means it's like 10:30-ish. It's totally up to you. If you're ready to go, I understand. If you have other things to do, other people to meet, other people to hang out with, I understand. Let me see if I have any more questions, though, real quick. Not really. That was all of them. Yeah, I don't really have much. I have a couple other random things, but I don't know if they'd be interesting to you. Like I have my top 5 moments of 2024, and then I have my New Year's Eve resolution. So I kind of went through a little bit. I'll talk about my New Year's Eve resolutions. Let me know if you guys have any in your chat. And let me know if you guys have any New Year's resolutions in the chat. And I'm going to go through mine real quick. So one of my New Year's resolutions is to try to hit 5,000 subs. Because last time I checked, I have 3,500 subs now, which I didn't think I would get 3. So I'm over the moon. But I always like to set goals for myself. And then one of the goals was to hit 3,000 subs by the end of the year. And I did. So I'm kind of proud of that, to be fair. And so I'm going to set my sights a little bit higher and try to reach 5,000 by the end of 2025. Also, I want to reach that 1,000-pound mark to donate to the Royal British Legion. That would be amazing. If we could do more, that'd be great, but I will settle for 1,000 pounds. The other ones are a little bit more personal, but we'll go through them anyway. One of them is to let things go. so much stuff has happened in the last year here that has really bogged me down and I've been struggling with. So one of my resolutions is to try to just let stuff roll off my back a little bit more and not let it bog me down, not let it weight me, and not carry it with me everywhere I go. To just kind of be like, things are going to happen, how they're going to happen, and we'll go from there, right? That's tough for me, but hopefully with some help from the British culture that I'm surrounded in, I'll be able to achieve it. The next thing is my contract is up for my current job in a couple months. So I would like to find a work from home job. I originally started looking for jobs working in offices here in Britain because I thought it would help me assimilate to the culture and learn more about the culture and all that kind of stuff, which it has, in all fairness. But I hate it. I hate going in the office. It's not anyone in particular, any company in particular, or any job in particular, but I really enjoy the freedom of working from home. So one of my goals is to try to find a work from home job once my contract is up. Another resolution is to explore more of the UK, and be able to just, soak up some of the sites that y'all have been telling me about and some of the things that I've seen online and do some more of that kind of local exploring. And then the last one, I think I mentioned before, but it's to post just more content overall. I want to get a little bit more of my life documented and out there. You guys have any New Year's resolutions? Do you guys do that? Is that a thing here? The biggest New Year's resolution in America, this will make you guys laugh. The biggest New Year's resolution in America is to lose weight, and most people give it up by the end of January. It's a real statistic for the US. This is good to show it. Like, the Americans don't take a lot of things seriously. They just don't. I do have a question for y'all as far as the channel and content. And we're sort of towards the end. We'll see what happens. But one of the questions was, what do you want more or less of from the channel in 2025? What are the things you guys like? What are the things you guys don't like? What is something I don't do that you'd like to see? And what is something I do that you think is crap and I should just 86? Let me know. The older one works for Highland Council and the younger one works for a company called Stage Hire, I think. Are they like roadies? Because I'm not going to lie, I've always thought that'd be an awesome job. Because you get to just like be involved in a lot of events, and you don't have any, you have like minimal responsibility. Like, you just have to set the shit up. I was in high school, I was somebody who did that kind of stuff for our they're called Winter Guard. So they're like, we have marching band. I don't know if you have anything like that here, so it might be completely American, but we have marching bands, and they also do competitions. But there's like what's called a color guard. So they do like the flag throwing, and like they have rifles that they throw in the air, and they do like a dance and like a performance with. And they're called Winter Guard, Color Guard. And they used to do competitions as well. And me and a friend of mine used to be the roadies for the Color Guard, which is kind of dorky. But we used to go with them to all their competitions to help set up their stage and their props and all that kind of stuff, and then help break it down when they were done with their set. And it was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So we got to travel, we got to see like other people do their shit. And they actually won like a couple competitions, and that was really exciting to be a part of. It really a part of it. I was just setting it up. But I enjoyed that kind of stuff. So if that's the kind of stuff that your sons do, that's kind of exciting, and I'm kind of envious of it, honestly. Resolutions and goals are the same thing though, TJ. Like, really, at the end of the day, like, my goal is to try to hit 5,000 subs. My goal is to try to get £1,000 donation for the year minimum for the Royal British Legion. My goal is to try to let things go a little bit more and not let them bog me down, right? Like, it's the same thing. If they just say resolutions to make it seem like it's special for New Year's, it's like it's probably a marketing term, to be honest. At the beginning of the year, you didn't even have 1,000. I know. I'm so I'm overwhelmed by the response this year for the channel. I can't tell you. And the funniest part is some of the videos that have done the best are the videos I thought were the shittiest ones. Or videos that I thought I was like, yeah, no one's gonna give a crap about this one. And they ended up doing the best. So maybe I should just not think so hard about it and not be so perfectionist about it. Because those are the ones that seems to do the best, and that's kind of why I want to get away from the formulaic versions of the videos and get back to like what I was doing originally, because I feel like that is not just more authentic, but it seems to be what people are responding to as well. I have 3,600. Are you joking? Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I'll present this shit to you. Hold on one sec. Hold on. I'm going to check it right now. Oh, fucking bastards. You bastards. Making everything complicated by being on Chrome instead. I can't present it because Chrome's being a bitch, but I have 3,628 subscribers, you guys. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's amazing. Guys, in 2024, I got 1.2 million views. That's so incredible. I wish I could share the screen so that I could show you, but Chrome's being a bitch. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I've had too many drinks to try to figure it out. So, but wow. That's so. What a way to end 2024. All I can say is it has to be you guys. My core group that come to the live stream every week, that make sure they comment on everything and watch everything and share everything and show it. You guys are the ones who got the numbers up in the beginning. And I'm appreciative of every single person that subscribes or watches or anything like that. Even if they hate watch, I don't care. But wow. I'm so humbled right now. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Okay. Moving on, because I don't have to be too vulnerable, right? Like, you know, that is. Next chat. How about having a meetup with us? I bow down to our legendary leader. Aww. Would you all be interested in doing like a meet and greet, like meetup? Just it doesn't have to be like a formal meet and greet or anything like that, but doing like a meetup and like just having a pint or something and chilling. I'd be down with that if anyone else would be. I didn't think anyone would care, but I'd be down. I hear you, TJ. 100,000%. And again, and not against anything personal against anybody, but I don't understand people who go to work for the social aspect. This might be an obnoxious American take, but people who go to work to be social are sus to me. I said what I said. I own it. You're suspect if you have to go to work to feel like that is your social network. I don't have a problem with anyone I work with as far as the social aspect of it, right? I have a problem with some of the people and how they work and address people and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like a social aspect, they all seem fine. They all seem like they're decent people. They all seem like, you know, no one seems obnoxious or rude or anything like that. So, like, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not there to make friends. Like, I'm not there to have a social life. I'm there to work. And if I didn't need the money, I wouldn't be there. I don't get it. I don't get that mentality. So I'm with you. Office workers suck. And it seems I've worked in other avenues in like corporate and office settings, right? And it definitely seems like the office setting is the bitchiest, whingiest, most like egotistical settings ever. I worked in restaurants. I worked in back of house situations. I worked in customer service, like basic customer service. I've worked in retail, and I've never met the most bitchiest, whingiest bunch of people as I've done in corporate office settings. And in all fairness, I don't know, I don't have enough experience in British office settings to know if it's the equivalent, but in American office settings, it's the easiest jobs ever. So it's not nearly as hard as working in a freaking warehouse and picking shit or serving Americans for tips or trying to sell enough money to make your rent. Like it's just not the same. So stop whinging and being bitches. I mean, in some of the situations I've had, they've been very like consumer driven, and I'm like, the commodity that you want me to worry about not having stock of is not curing cancer. So I don't really care if it's going to be the delivery is going to be a day late. You know why? Because I'm a human and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of life. And I think that might be a burnout of being in corporate world's way too long. Try to live long and prosper. My dad was a Trekkie. I got you. Call him whatever you want. As long as they watch my videos. There's some of the, like, I know streaming and gaming is like humongous now, right? And I'm too old for any of that shit. I can barely use all the fucking buttons on the controller. But I know there's a lot of people out there that like assign names to their fans. Like they have a fandom that follows them and they have like that group, that fandom group is called something. I wonder what we would be called. Just curious. You guys have any ideas? Let me know. A goal is hoping to do 1,000. 1,000%. Will I remember all of this stream? I think so. I'm not that drunk. Like I said earlier, if I can make it down the stairs, I'm not drunk. You guys have never seen me drink before. I can handle it, trust me. Oh, thank you, TJ. Wow. I'm not gonna read your comment out loud because I don't want to call you out. I don't know how comfortable you are with, putting that stuff out there in public. Outside like our little group in our chat. But I'm first of all, I'm pulling for you because I actually really like your channel, TJ, in all complete honesty. I think it's really fun. I love learning about all the stuff that you talk about, like all the local little tidbits. That totally up my alley. But also, I think you're awesome. and but on a personal level, like it puts my achievement in perspective. I don't mean to sound condescending in any way at all. I just like it kind of the realization I didn't realize that I had so many subscribers and I didn't realize I had so many views. I checked analytics, but not on a like regular basis because I don't want to become obsessed with it. Like when people are trying to lose weight and they weigh themselves every day, and when they don't like lose a pound or something, they start getting crazy about the numbers. Like I didn't want to be that person about my channel. So I check it, but I don't check it in a religious sense where I really like get into the analytics of the channel. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. This video is getting traction. This video isn't. Maybe I can, edit it or trim it up or something like that. Or this version of the video or how I'm presenting it is working and this version isn't. Like those are the types of analytics that I look at. So like I honestly didn't realize the channel was doing as well as it was doing. And to know that there's people that are doing it, have been doing it a little bit longer and haven't gotten that far makes me really proud. I feel so bad saying that because I don't want to make it seem like I'm like making anyone else's channel less awesome because I do think that a lot of those channels are awesome. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just shut up. I'm overwhelmed a little bit about it, I think. I'm processing it in real time. And it's a little overwhelming. And humbling. And well beyond what I ever thought it would be. And I feel almost a little arrogant by saying I want to try to reach 5,000 subscribers. Like maybe I'm being too greedy. Wow. I can't believe a million people watched my shit. I can't even keep like 20 friends from America. I got a million random people I've never met before that are watching my channel. It's weird. It's a very surreal, overwhelming situation. Anyways, let's move on because I'm feeling super vulnerable and I don't know what to say. Okay. people who want to go to work for social reasons have been married for 35 years. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I agree with that, like, verbatim, but I'm hearing what you're saying. Like, I'm following your logic, TJ. It's like you're lacking somewhere else in your life if you have to go to work to be social. And I'm not, like we've established earlier in the stream, I'm not a hugely social person necessarily, but I don't go to work to like I work because I have to work. If I didn't have to work, I wouldn't work. Like I would just do shit like this all day and travel and like I don't know, write or something. Like I wouldn't get up at before dawn to make a train to get to work. Like I didn't need the money. Like I just don't understand why people go to work to hang out and socialize, or they get annoyed when like social events are canceled or don't happen. So, like I don't care if you have a Christmas party. I was having this discussion a couple weeks ago with someone at work about they had been with the company for a really long time, and it used to have like Christmas parties, and it used to be a big event, and it used to be a lot of fun apparently and all that kind of stuff. But they don't do them anymore. And I don't really know why, but they don't do them anymore. And they were talking about, their feelings about that decision to not do them anymore. And I was just remember thinking, and no offense to this person at all, because they're a lovely person. But I just remember thinking like, I really couldn't care. I've probably been to 5 Christmas parties in my entire career. One time I was single. One time I was trying to get with someone that I was working with. And I would say maybe the other times were like just I was new to the company or something. I wanted to see what it was like. I've never been to a Christmas party and been like, "Oh, that was the shit." So like I just don't like. For me, it is just a personal thing. It's not against anybody else or against this person. But I never been to a company function and been like, "Oh, that was the bomb." I would do that again in a second. And again, it might just be because of my social issues, but I just never had that experience. So like I just couldn't identify. I just couldn't get on the same page. I don't understand why people feel the need for you to be in the office. So my bosses allowed me to work from home twice a week. And part of the reason that I have to work from home the days that they designated is because my counterpart in the office works from home the opposite days. And someone has to be in the office. Why? We carry computers around in our back pocket. Why do I have to be in a building to do my work? It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. There's so many things that are implemented based on an illusion or control or tradition rather than actual efficiency or productivity. It's so aggravating. Oh, thank you, TJ. Do you think bloopers in the beginning of the video? Interesting. That's an interesting suggestion, Sam. I'm not sure how people would feel about that. I might put a poll out about that or something. It's an interesting it's an interesting suggestion. A lot of people decide whether they're going to watch the video based on the first like 30 seconds of the video. So my only issue with putting bloopers in the beginning is they're going to think it's like that kind of funny video or something. And then if I go into something a little bit deeper or a little bit more personal, then it might be like a clickbait kind of feeling that I'm leaving the viewer with. Unless I just, pick and choose and only do it on the ones that are fun. I don't know. I'll think about it. You've been married 35 years? I feel like I've been with my partner for like 18 years, and that feels like a really long time. I don't know. Like 35 years is a long time, dude. Wow. I mean, I hope we get to 35 years, obviously, but it's a long time. I I even let me put it this out there, okay? And this is nothing like a reflective on what my relationship status is currently or anything, but if it ended tomorrow, I would still consider it a successful relationship because 18 years and a kid that's fairly self-sufficient and not on drugs or pregnant, I think is pretty successful. Maybe my bar is a little low, but that's my thought process. I am so. How much have you had? I don't know what you're implying or what you're asking about there, Sam, but that sounds like a very leading question. 64 years? God bless. Whew. I'm trying to think. I mean, I was been married in their early 20s, right? Like, and I mean, I guess that generation also got married early, and it was, like, in all fairness, I got married and had a family later in life, um, than a lot of people that I know anyway. So, to be fair, but I was in a very serious relationship in my early 20s, and I thought we were gonna get married. And looking back on it now, I'm like, thank God we didn't get married because we would have definitely been divorced by now. And in all honesty, I wasn't the one that broke it off either. So props to him for recognizing that it wasn't gonna work, but whew, thank goodness. This is like the most personal and the longest stream I've done in my life. God bless your parents and good luck to them. I hope that is many more years to come because that is amazing. Who got a telegram from the Queen? Do you get a telegram from the Queen when you've reached like 60 years or something? Well, obviously not the Queen any longer, but I'm just saying, like, is that a thing? I don't know. Not like the president sent us a letter if we're, in a long relationship. President doesn't give a fuck about us. Your mom was 16? Okay, first of all, props for being together and sticking it out that long, especially getting married at such a young age. Because when I was 16, there's no way that I was going to be committed to somebody for the rest of my life. Different time, different generation, and everything, but still props deserved to both of them. Do you really get a letter from the monarch when you've been married for 60 years? Seriously, that's a thing here? Holy crap. Yeah, we don't get anything like that in America. We're lucky if we get like a paycheck after we retire in America. We're effed in America, man. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite moments of 2024. And then we may call it a night and wrap it up, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about. But so my 5 favorite moments of 2024. Number 1 was getting my visa renewed. Because that was really stressful for me. I don't know why. I didn't really have any reason to think it wouldn't be renewed, but I was really concerned that I was not going to be able to stay in the UK. So if I have to move back to America, I personally don't have a problem with it. I could probably survive, but leaving my child behind was the hard thing. And I would never make her move back to America because right now it's not a great place for her to be. So I was really, really concerned about that, but I'm really glad it got renewed. That's the first thing. The second thing would be shedding dead weight. So I'm really, really excited that I've lost some weight physically, like literally, but also that I've lost some dead weight as far as like people in my life. It's been hard because I have lost touch with a lot of people that I thought were a lot more solid in my life. But now that I've kind of processed it and gotten through that part of it, I am grateful because I don't really want anyone in my life that's not bringing me value anymore. And I don't want to waste my time. I'm too old. I have too much going on. I have too much I want to do with the rest of my life than to waste energy on people that aren't going to appreciate it or reciprocate it. So even though that was a really difficult thing for me to go through in 2024, I'm really glad that I did. So hopefully in 2025 and the future, I can focus on, the value that life is bringing me instead. The third thing would be hitting 3,000 subs. That was amazing. I had a goal to hit 3,000 by the end of the year. I didn't think I was going to achieve it, but y'all came through and I am over the moon about it. Thank you. Number 3 would be to check something off my bucket list, would be to go to Greece. I got to go to Greece. And not just Athens. I got to go to an island and swim in the Aegean Sea and a cave and see wild goats and more shit to come. Travel blogs are coming out about Greece. It was the highlight of my 2024. And it was a dream come true and I will never forget it. And I'm so excited that I got to do that. And I still, even now, I'm like, sometimes, Jesus, I wish I was in Greece. Except for the bathroom situation. Like, you have to wipe yourself and then throw the toilet paper in the garbage rather than flush it because the pipes are so small it gets stopped up. That's weird for me. I've already talked about the indoor plumbing situation. Anyways, so other than that, Greece was perfection. Okay. And then the number 1 moment of my 2024 was being able to take my daughter to Milan. So on our way to Greece, we stopped over in Milan for like a 24, 36 hour kind of stay over. She really wanted to go to Milan because she's really into fashion and things like that. And we happened to find a really amazing flight and hotel deal that coincided with our trip to Greece. So we were able to surprise her with that. And it was part of her like birthday / Christmas present for this year. But I remember when we went into the airport and she thought we were still going to Greece all the way up to the point that we got to the gate. And finally, my partner and I were like, we have to tell her because she thinks we're going to Greece. We're actually going to Italy. And she was so happy and so excited, and so she did so well. Like she was so in her element when we were in Milan. It was so insane and crazy. Um, and I was really, really happy that I could do that for her because it meant so much to her and she really enjoyed it. But that was the highlight of my 2024 by far. And there's going to be highlights of that coming out for y'all as well. So anyway, those are my top fives of 2024. Let me know if you guys have anything that you think is the best moment of your year so far. You get I did know that you got a letter from the monarch when you reach 100. I think I've seen a couple videos about that. So I did know that part, in all fairness. Okay, I'm going to end it there. I feel like it's time. It's been like 3 hours and 15 minutes. I feel like it's time. But I want to end on something else that I've written, because it has been a tough year and there's been a lot going on in the world and everything. So I wrote something out to read to kind of sign off for you guys. I hope you don't mind. So these are my final words as 2024 draws to a close. Anytime that one door closes and another door opens, it's a time for reflection, right? And for me, I can't help but reflect on my journey and all that this year has taught me and brought me. Not just the triumphs, which are amazing, but also the challenges. And from my little corner of England that I live in, which is minuscule compared to what the UK and Great Britain and the Commonwealth has to offer. But in my limited experience, I've been able to witness the resilience and the spirit of the British culture, and just people around the world have been able to embody, especially in the face of like uncertainty and in just facing the unknown, basically. I've come to really appreciate the power of a shared sense of humanity within the world. And of course, the last year or so has been more reflective of that than ever. And it feels like, in a lot of ways, we're oceans apart from each other and miles away from each other. But as human beings, our hopes and our struggles and our dreams for the future actually connect us in ways that transcend borders and transcend ideology. And 2024 has not been a great year as far as global activities, etc. But I feel like it's been exemplary of our spirit of resilience and our capacity to adapt and grow stronger together as a race and as human beings. I've been really lucky to have this opportunity to live in the United Kingdom, to live in a different country and witness what the strength of being in a part of a community really entails, and to be able to be the recipient of the kindness of strangers and be able to benefit from a culture that recognizes humanity and recognizes human beings. It's a reminder to me that no matter where we are, the concept of hope is actually a universal language. And if we really pay attention to it, it actually can be louder than any fear or division or hardship or challenge that we have to overcome in the future. There's lots of things that there's lots of things going on in the world that we can be fearful of, and that can bog us down and make us divide us and make us unsure of the future and the people around us. However, I hold a belief, because I'm an optimist, that with each beginning is a new opportunity. And the beginning of a new year is definitely an opportunity to find purpose and to find value and to move towards compassion and understanding. And hopefully, to lead us to a point where our dreams can come true and our hopes for the future can come true. I want you to know that, in all sincerity, that your dreams matter, your hopes matter, and most of all, that you matter. And if this channel is representative of anything, it is representative of what I believe humanity should be, and nations should try to envelop the idea of a cohesive, peaceful existence together, no matter what our differences are, and no matter what we might believe or think is right. At the end of the day, all we can do is try to share and find common ground and move forward together. And hopefully, we can find a future where all of us are being fulfilled and the majority of our beliefs and our needs are being met, and there's hope and possibility for the future. So I want to leave 2024 with a message of hope, because hope is what carries us through when we feel like we have nothing else to fight for. I hope everyone has an incredible 2025 filled with peace, filled with joy, filled with rewards, and filled with tons and tons of prosperity. I hope that we can continue all of the journey that we've come through together in the future on this channel. Let's make the next year even better together. Thank you for everything you've given me. I can't wait to see what 2025 holds for us as a community. With all the love and hope that I have in my heart, I wish you a safe and happy 2025. Thank you. Happy New Year.